I think that the last three people probably that denied an alt season can now look at the charts and be like, okay, maybe that wasn't like that smart. It started. For me, everything is kind of confirmed right now that alt season has started. And I want to, in this video, give around 10 coins that I am personally buying. Not that I'm saying that you should buy them, just telling you what I'm going to do to make the most out of this alt season, because an alt season moves in steps, right? It's not that everything blows up together. Like we talked about the money flow for so long, right? Bitcoin plus the hype, which was meme coins. Then the hype went into AI and AI agents, but the flow went into the high caps, and it's still kind of there. If you look XRP for the last 7 days, also up 100%. It's now $2.66. Yeah, I don't know, man. If XRP is up that hard, then you can no longer say that it's not an alt season if that moves. So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and let's get right into the content. So I made a lot of videos already 2 years ago where I said alt season, end of this year, beginning next year. And it's end of this year, and it kind of started right now, guys. Now, the cool thing is that you want to go against the masses, right? I'm Dutch. I like to go against the masses. I don't know if that has anything to do with being Dutch, but I don't know, man. Maybe we look at things different. But I'm just very happy with how it went so far. Let me tell you a real quick story so you know who the fuck this is coming from before I'm gonna give you these coins, because anybody can now buy a camera, open a YouTube account, and give you 10 coins like this will do a blah 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 X, and in a year they will probably be right and look like a genius, right? That's not really what I want to do. Sometimes crypto is also about, you know, telling people what they don't want to hear, because the market sometimes just does what you don't want it to do. I just try to translate what the market is telling me, and yeah, sometimes I also listen wrongly to it. But what's so cool about this whole market, man? I've been a long time, most people probably remember me from that, saying like, guys, I'm not buying altcoins. And people, they kind of gave me a backfire for that, because Bitcoin at a certain point, it bottomed, and they were like, why not buying altcoins? Like, altcoins will go up. They will outperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin is boring, right? But as you can see, Bitcoin bottomed here, the purple line, and it went up, 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 up. In the meantime, however, altcoins on their Bitcoin pair still went down. So yeah, if they went up on the dollar pair, that could be. But yet, on the Bitcoin pair, they were worth less, right? So you were better off just buying Bitcoin right here, write that up, and then by the bottom for these altcoins with the Bitcoin that you just made profit on. So at a certain point, I said, like, guys, altcoins on the Bitcoin pair now look really tasty. And I said it somewhere over here, right? Not exactly at the bottom or anything, but I said it somewhere here. I mean, you should not try to time the bottom in the first place. This was not too long ago, and this was the point where a lot of these people who called for altcoins, they said like, altcoins are dead, right? Like, you should not buy altcoins. Bitcoin is the only one that's been moving. You was right about that Bitcoin, and now you're telling to buy altcoins, yada, yada, yada. Now, that's just kind of how it works, right? Now, I am saying to you guys, I've said for a long time, like, in 2024, beginning 2025, alt season should start. I'm now sitting here saying, like, guys, I think it's close enough, time-wise, but also on multiple charts-wise, to say it started, right? And there now will probably still be some people that say, like, oh, there's no alt season. Well, then you just have to take a look at these charts, right? I guess then, like, it is here. So sometimes I just want to mention, like, yeah, I got a lot of backfire on this channel for not necessarily saying to people what they want to hear. At the end of the day, I am very happy with the moves that I made in crypto so far this cycle. And if you took those trades with me, you made some nice trades. You missed out on some trades. That's all part of the game, right? You cannot be in crypto for a month and not be wrong about something. But overall, I think the market is doing it's being super predictable, actually. And that's a good thing, because that's what it always does. Like, that's what we can predict, actually. But most people, they look at the market and be like, nah, it cannot be the same again, right? So I'm gonna do something different, and then that's what is what gonna get them wrecked. So before I'm gonna tell you the coins, because I don't want to be known as a guy that just calls coins, I want to give you the underlying thoughts about it, because you could think for yourself as well, right? I just want to show you the market real quick, and if you wonder, like, you calling coins right now, everything is up so far. Look, yeah, of course, we are not at the bottom. For the altcoin market, on the dollar pair, we're definitely not at the bottom, right? On the Bitcoin pair, we are very close to the bottom, but we're having a good bounce right now. But still, hey, if you're DCAing, then there's always something to get in this market. And therefore, I just want to show you what I am doing in this market right now. Back here, I had minus $5,000. Here, I'm close to $1 million. That went pretty fast. And the main thing that worked for me is just sticking to the market. Just purely sticking to the cycle, actually, and believe in something. That really works. So what we're seeing right now is, look, I mean, I said this a couple of times, but what is an alt season? Alt season is where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. It's not necessarily where altcoins just do 50x on the dollar pair. It's where altcoins outperform Bitcoin, right? Now, of course, there are always periods in the market where altcoins outperform Bitcoin, like here, like here, like here, and now here as well. But I gave a couple of reasons on the channel a couple of days ago why I think that this move is different. One of those reasons is in this chart, basically two. One is that we are now bouncing from this trend line right here. Every time we did bounce from this trend line resulted in a fucking insane alt season, right? We had an insane alt season in 2017 and an insane alt season in 2021. Another reason that we can only find on this chart, I'm not going to show you the rest, did that before, is time-wise, right? The alt season here in 2017, look, we were sitting here at the bottom November, December 2016. We were here at the bottom December 2020, 4 years later. We are now here at the bottom November 2024, 4 years later, right? Plus or minus 1 month. I mean, what's 1 month on 48 months, right? That's pretty good. So I honestly think that it has begun, definitely. And it's super unwise to think not. Like, I can show you 12 reasons why, and I literally have 0 reasons why not, actually. Now, there's always a possibility, of course, where the altcoin market does this and then go up. But does it really matter from this point? The confirmations are here. Now, I want to show you another chart that's actually super bullish, but also something that we want to be a little cautious with. And that's this. This is Bitcoin dominance plus Ethereum dominance plus USDT, USDC, and DAI dominance. So basically everything but Ethereum, Bitcoin, and stables, right? So really the altcoin market. And that's looking pretty good, right? Or this is everything except the altcoin market, basically. And this is looking pretty good because we can just see that the complete dominance, if you include Bitcoin, stables, and even the blue chip Ethereum, it's falling off of a cliff, right? And it's not, again, going back in USDT or whatever, that's included. So what does this mean? This means that the money from all these high caps and stables is flowing into altcoins. Altcoins outperform. That's what you call an alt season. Now, want to be a little careful right here because, as you can see, I've drawn these lines and we're sitting at major support right now. And an alt season is not like up only, or in this chart's case, down only. It's also where we have bounces, big corrections. And one of those big corrections could happen right now. I mean, altcoins just had a fantastic run. Hey, it could be that people put some money in USDC or maybe in USDT or in Bitcoin, right? Like, it's possible. But this is showing real weakness for Bitcoin season, basically. Another thing, this is beautiful, the Bitcoin dominance. I think most people, if they think about alt season, they think about Bitcoin dominance. It's not necessarily showing if it's an alt season, because if people put their money from Bitcoin and USDT, then this chart goes down as well. But overall, this lines up with an alt season. And this is looking pretty nasty. If this was a coin, I would be like, okay, take what profits I have and get out before it goes down even further, right? This is showing real weakness right now. It's getting also rejected off the 618, and that's just important because again, if you look at what happened last cycle, we had the 618 coming in right here. That's where the Bitcoin dominance got rejected, and we went into a fat alt season. And it happens to be that if we take another Fibonacci retracement over this chart, we are at the 618 and get rejected. We went a little above it. Then again, these were wicks. We never closed above it. So the 618 is still intact, and we are now quite far below it, actually. So this shows like the money is really flowing into altcoins. Yeah, and when can you say like, hey, it is an alt season? Does it need to go down 5%, 10%, 20%? Like, I think that if you combine all these charts and the time that we are in, that we can now just say like, hey, this is an alt season. And for most people, I think is what I said in the video yesterday, is an alt season will be really confirmed for them if Bitcoin goes up while the Bitcoin dominance goes down. Right? Because then you will actually see altcoins on the dollar pair completely explode. And although that's not the definition of an alt season, that's how people see it and kind of define it. So this is looking fantastic, man. The weakness is really here. Also, I've drawn this line so long ago, and I will try to keep it here. So far, it is following pretty nicely. This is just the others' dominance, right? So the altcoin dominance, how much are altcoins dominating compared to the rest of the crypto market? And this is looking good. I mean, it was sitting at 8.5%. It's now 11.5%. And you might feel like it's just 3%, right? But yeah, we are dominating altcoins, right? The low cap, everything outside of the top 10 are dominating 3% more in a market that has $3.3 trillion. So that's actually quite a lot already, right? That's 100 billion from top of my head, give or take. Probably after this video, I'll be like, that was a stupid, but I don't know. But that's a lot of money, right? And this thing could go way higher. I mean, it's way closer to the bottom than where it's going to go, in my opinion. So it is definitely here right now. And what's also extra like confirming to me is what I said earlier. Like, we have Bitcoin right here, and Bitcoin was in this range, right? We were ranging right here. The cycle high was sitting here, and Bitcoin, it just broke out and went way above it. Then we saw that with the total crypto market as well, above it right now. We saw it with the total too, if you exclude Bitcoin from the total market, right? You see that this is breaking out as well. If you only take the high cap coins, only the high cap coins, 6 of them or so, then this is what we're seeing as well. This is what we haven't seen with the low caps, with everything outside of the top 10. And now today it broke out. So this is looking really good. This just broke out, and like I said, all the other charts that I showed are kind of a preview of what's going to happen with this chart, because money flows from high caps into low caps. That's what happens, right? So this was super predictable to happen. And if I look at this compared to the other charts that are like, then yeah, we have a long way to go for the altcoin market. That means there are a lot of opportunities right now, and I want to go over some of these opportunities. So if I have to go with 10 altcoins, and I'm not giving you a list like, hey, 10 altcoins that can do 100x, because then I'm just straight gambling, and I also want to make sure that we don't lose money. Now, some of these coins you might feel like, hey, what's the upside there really? One example that I gave before, if you look at Cardano at last cycle, then you'll know that, you know, once this thing was sitting at $1 billion market cap, people also said like, yo, what's the upside? And from that point, it did 100x, right? So I'm not saying that everything with $1 billion market cap will do 100x right now, but I'm also saying like, hey, don't stare blind at the fact like something is high cap, so it cannot go up more, because it could, definitely. So let's get into the coins. There's a link for the Alpha Factory down below. If you want to get these coins early, study the market cycles way better, because that makes you more money than the actual coins. Okay. Exclusive videos. insane community, getting a lot of people in there. We're doing a portfolio giveaway for everybody that's there. So basically, if you're in for free. So no reason why not to actually, really, if you want to make more out of crypto. Now, the thing with me is I never prepare these things. Okay, I'm not gonna sit at home at front saying to myself like, okay, I'm gonna put this coin in the video, this coin in the video. I'm just go with my guts and my feeling and the things that I like most actually. Now, this may have felt like an intro. I want to make very clear the first 15 minutes of this video were more important than the rest of this video. Okay, so if you skip that and you came to this part, watch it back. Okay, otherwise these coins don't mean shit. I'm not gonna include coins like XRP, Solana, Cardano. Why not? Because simply the fact that what is the upside really here, right? There is with XRP, for example. Look, if you feel like, hey, I like XRP, guys, XRP gives you always like 5 years of opportunity, and then it goes up for like 3 hours, right? So if you now feel like I like it, then great, wait for it for next cycle and then do it again, right? But you know, it's simply too late. With Solana, very simply as well, could it go up more? Yeah, of course, and it probably will, right? But you also have to remember it had a run from $8 to 250 or something like that. I'm not gonna sell you a Solana at 225, right? Like that's kind of nonsense actually for me. Now, one that I feel like this is definitely something you should have in your portfolio, in my opinion, is AVAX. I have AVAX in my portfolio, and you would just see what I have actually right here. So let me log out real quick. Welcome to the Expose Factory. My name is Idiot. AVAX, it's now at $50, right? Yeah, it's high. And actually, if you look at the market cap, you might feel like, ooh, it's getting really close to its all-time high. AVAX is a coin that I feel like easy new all-time highs. Why? Because it's now already close, while a lot of coins are not yet, actually. But also, AVAX is now simply way better than what it is over here. And I'll keep saying it. People that look at Solana right now and maybe like, oh, I missed it. AVAX is the one that they will look next. And maybe SUI. But I believe in AVAX more. EVM compatibility. Like, yes, Solana isn't and makes it very easy. I think still that SUI has some user-friendly technology and things to develop. AVAX, gaming adoption, insane. $50 right now. I can see this go to at least where Solana is right now. And this is a safer bet, right? That's also important. So I would definitely go with some AVAX. Now, if you want to have a good mixture in your portfolio, you should not only look at layer ones like AVAX, but also like, hey, what's not only hot right now, but what can I actually see, being sustainable for the coming year, right? Now, I don't want to get too much into meme coins. I think there are a couple of meme coins that will stay a little sustainable. Overall, I said a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, here we go. Meme coin hype is completely, well, not completely gone, but you'll notice that if you look at the daily or the weekly biggest gainers, meme coins are nowhere to be found anymore. And I, again, also got a lot of shit for that, but that is actually what it is. That's how the money flows. Now, something that I feel like it has hype and is actually sustainable is AI. And one of the safer plays in AI is Render, actually. The tokenomics are like not scaring anybody off. And I feel like Render, it has been strong in a market where a lot of coins were not strong. And that's also important because we're now entering a market where altcoins start to outperform Bitcoin. So I'm really curious to see how Render is going to do by then. So Render is definitely a coin that I feel like, hey, yes, it's into the billions. Then again, don't forget how money there is now in the crypto market already. Adding a zero to this isn't that like weird, actually. So Render is definitely, and I'm going a little from high to low cap here, right? But Render is definitely one that I feel like, yeah, if you want to have some safe bet with some potential good returns, then that's definitely one. If I look at the rest of the top 100, there are a lot of good coins though. I mean, Ando is nice. I think that Gala, like, I personally don't like Gala. But then again, Gala is a coin that people will remind from the last bull market. And we just see that that's kind of how it works right now in this stage of the market, right? I would actually go, if you look further into the top 100, go with Beam. Beam is a layer one, came from AVAX, and I think that Beam is set for a lot more actually. If you are looking at a gaming infrastructure play, then this is definitely the one with a $1.5 billion market cap. Beam really has a lot of upside. If you look how the market cap goes, I mean, it was already sitting at 2.2 billion in March, and we're now at 1.5. Yeah, I think Beam will go way higher than what it was over here, and a lot of good games actually come to Beam. Um, this is one of the higher holdings in my own portfolio as well, and it's probably not gonna do 100x from this point, but it's also, you know, primed to do more than a 3x or something like that. Now, if I look in my own portfolio and just simply what I want to add to it at this stage of the market, right? Like, keep in mind, yeah, the market could have a pullback, but that could happen in any case, right? So if you're buying the lows, the highs, the mids, I don't know, just DCA will be fine at this stage. One that I feel like this hasn't had a huge run yet in the last couple of months, but probably will. What the fuck is Sandbot? This is not correct. I hope, right? Like, okay, but that's Seedify. Of course, Seedify is a crypto launchpad, and launchpads are the most obvious play in my opinion. Now, of course, it has been going up. It did a 2x in the last month, basically. But hey, what didn't, basically, right? So, yeah, Seedify showing, you know, the strength right now. But what it's also showing is this. In a market where everything 5x, 4, 5x, Seedify 12x. And that's important because that was this year, right? So that's this cycle, that's this Seedify, this product, this everything. Yeah, and people now kind of enjoying the gains that they make in the crypto market. And at a certain point, they look at, you know, projects that still have to make those gains, and they want to join new launches. I just made a full Seedify video. Do check it out. I think that this is one of the most obvious plays. It's my highest back in what I have right now. And I will keep adding to Seedify. It's the only coin that I also don't take profits on. Pretty principle actually about that. I would say Altura, but I mentioned this a couple months ago, and therefore I would not necessarily say this right now because Altura just had a pretty decent run in the last month. It went from 1.8 cents to 13 cents, and it was sitting at 1.7. Yeah, it almost did a 10x already. Although I said, like, this was a great call back then, right? Now I feel like it could still go up. In a bull market, it will probably go up, but I'm not so vocal now anymore about saying, like, buy Altura. For sure not. One that I do like, a quite higher cap as well, not that high cap actually, is Ronin. Ronin is a layer one gaming chain. And this has been an outperforming coin for a long time already. This thing completely mooned right here. Was sitting well over $4. It's now half of that. And this has the mainstream games, basically. It's that off the grid is not coming here. But yeah, I mean, Ronin is the blue chip gaming chain. And I think that this thing is going way higher. With an 800 million, I think that this is multi-billion shit right here. So easy play for me. If I have to go with another one, then I would choose another launchpad actually, but one that's a little more low cap, and then I would go with Paid Network. Paid Network, I talked about this a couple of times before as well. I kind of said for a long time, like, hey, this range right here, let me find the range here. It's quite perfect, 3, 4, 5 cents. Right, because it had this run up, it stalled out right here, and then it broke out hard. Now we came back down and we bounced here. So that was the region where I felt like, okay, paid is interesting for me. And it just had a run from 4 cents to 11, 12. It was even more than that. So it already kind of, yeah, 14 even. So more than 3x'd very quickly, right? And that's also because this thing is lower cap. It's on the base chain, which I think is super smart because base is going to be one of the biggest chains in my opinion. So paid network has a lot of room for growth. Now, let me skip a couple of things so I can go to the lower caps right now as well. One that I do feel like this is a real interesting play is Playable. And you'll notice there's a lot of gaming in here. But I'm doing that on purpose for now as well. I was also always vocal about gaming, but now especially because gaming haven't had that run yet. And that's so cool about this whole crypto thing. Then you will probably have some people saying like, yeah, but gaming is dead, won't happen, right? Yeah, just like Bitcoin was dead and altcoins overall was dead and AI was dead. Like, no, it's like you want to invest in what's dead before it runs because it's gonna run, right? Like you can now either chase the pumps or have a little conviction in what's probably not dead. And that's for me, playable games, low market cap, good gaming studio, like actually a really good gaming studio on AVAX. And I think that, you know, projects on AVAX are going to do very well. Broke out of its range right here. I'm not even doing the TA on TradingView today. Just like it like this. Broke out of this range right here. So be a little careful buying the pump, of course. Maybe if it retests like 0.002 or in that region, then it would be a good buy. But if you feel like, okay, I have a little FOMO for this thing and I don't have a position, you can always DCA into it, of course. Now, I have a lot of AI plays as well. And there are a lot of coins that I feel like, yeah, they are going to do great. But it's too much to call. I want to make a nice, so don't come in the comments like you forgot this one. Look, I don't forgot anything. Just cannot mention it all right here. But I just want to just mention coins that I feel like these are just some you need to at least take a look at, in my opinion. And for me, it's mainly gaming and launchpads, actually. And one coin that I feel like is super undervalued at the moment is Gains Associates. It started as a private launchpad. They released AVAX. They released Blocktopia, 1000X. They released Quant. They had a lot of interesting stuff. And Gains is currently, if you look at the market cap, extremely low. Here, it was sitting at 3 million. It's now sitting at 3 million as well. But when the market picked up a little bit and launchpads got a little interesting again for people, it went to 20 million without a problem. So for me, this is one coin that I feel like if they just keep doing what they do, not even upgrade, then this is the most easy 10x I can call a coin, actually. So for me, that's definitely one that's interesting. Other than that, I do want to mention the fact that some AI coins are really good, but look, the thing is, they just blew up right now. I spoke about OXO, for example, before, right? And OXO, I want to show it because I showed it on this chart right here. Look, I've drawn it like this. I posted this on Twitter, like, hey, OXO looks fantastic. Look up the tweet at 10 cents, right? It had a God candle of like 130% in a week, and it kind of stays here, right? So it's now 3 times as high, right? Like, I do feel like OXO could go higher, but I'm just not a fan of talking about projects after they did this, right? Like, no, why? So, but OXO overall, a really good project, and I think this could go way higher. Be a little careful with AI fund. I talked about this one pretty early and I made a lot of money on it, but I'm also going to tell you honestly, I'm going to dump that on you. So look, I was in the pre-sale and of course it started from 2 cents, whatever it was, less than 2. It's up 30x or so more. So yeah, of course I'm taking my profits. So we'll be a little hypocritical if I now say like, oh, you should buy it. I said in the Alpha Factory though, that if you do want a position, wait for this area right here. And it got there. And it's now higher. So that was a nice trade if you took it. For now, I do feel like there is a lot of unlock going on and maybe a little too much hype. So yeah, I'd rather fuck my own bags than tell you what I already have so you can buy that, right? So I hope you will like the video for that. ChainGPT, great. ChainGPT is a project that this was the TA that I made for Alpha Factory. Look, ChainGPT is breaking out right here. It has the launchpad hype. It is one of the best launchpads, if not, in my opinion, together with Seedify, the best. The AI hype is there. They do everything well. They are so innovative. Their partners are amazing. This will go way higher, in my opinion. This will go way higher. And if you look where potentially, yeah, look, I mean, it's strong, man. It's strong. If you ever want a good buy for this one, yeah, you better hope and pray that it gets towards this line, but it's like 13, 14 cents depending on when it happens. I doubt that it gets there, actually. So no, I think ChainGPT has left the bottom, actually. And next stop could very well be 27 cents, right? It's now 21. Yeah, up to you. Like, am I getting in right now or not? But this is a must hold in your portfolio, in my opinion. Also considering the fact that the market cap isn't that high, actually. It's $150 million. Yeah. Wouldn't be the first coin to do 1,000x from that amount. Well, not that, but there's a lot of room to grow. So these are a couple of random coins that I would say check them out. Other than that, I would say do look at launchpads with free allocations because they are now there. Paid is doing that. Seedify is now doing that. They have their one hop AI round coming. This is an open sale, so you don't have to stake any Seedify fund to participate in this sale, right? So don't expect like major allocations. I mean, everybody can join, but still, couple of like $30, whatever, I don't know what it is exactly, you can allocate it here, right? And this happens to be a coin that I think releases under $1 million market cap, fully diluted. So, hey, like hypothetically, like this could easy 100x when it comes to that. Yeah, if you put $50 in, it's nice, right? So look at these open sales. There are more. On Seedify, there is a lot, right? So you can basically join these open sales, and if you have money by participating in these open sales, if you make money on that, you can choose to put that money into Seedify so you can get an actual tier to make even more money. That's how you can play the Launchpad game now. And that's, like I said, Gains is doing that. Decubate is offering a lot of free stuff, learn to earn stuff. There's a lot of money in this market, guys, to really just pick up. So please do that. Please, please, please do that. Don't like, if you're walking on the street and you see $50 laying around, you pick it up, right? It's the same. So, yeah, I want to wrap it up right here. There's a lot more again, but for now, I feel like this is what I would really, if I would buy right now, the first things that I would buy. And other than that, look at the right charts right now, okay? Bitcoin is going down a little bit, but fuck that. The dominance is going down way harder. Altseason has started. This is clear, right? This is not just a simple correction anymore. Really, really, really last chance. One last warning maybe. USDT dominance. Yeah. At the trend line. So far, every bounce of the trend line was a huge crash. So that is something to keep in mind. But again, it could be that the altcoin market first goes up and that it hovers a little bit right here, and then we get the crash, and that the altcoin market basically just goes back down to where we are right now. And that's kind of what's happening, right? While we are at this trend line, the altcoin market is flying right now. So please, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm busy, probably.